Good morning, Democrats. Welcome to the 2024 Democratic National Committee's Women's Caucus. I'm Lottie Shackelford, and I have the pleasure and the honor of serving as your chair. And we're so excited to see you all this morning. We apologize for the lateness of time. Evidently, somebody did not think, or we did not think, that life was going to be a little bit different in Chicago when all these Democrats came together to celebrate and to make certain we have victory on November 5th. So we apologize. All of our caucuses are running late. They're starting late because logistically it was just a challenge for folk to get here at the time they were supposed to. We're going to have a Pledge of Allegiance by Carrie Evelyn Harris, followed by the National Anthem by Stephanie Jackson of Little Rock, Arkansas, and a land acknowledgement by Selena Vasquez on the DNC Executive Committee.
Before I do the Pledge of Allegiance, I would just like, the Women's Caucus would like to acknowledge active duty military, reserve, and guard troops, as well as veterans. Women make up approximately 10% of the veterans population, but boy, do we prove our ability to lead on a regular basis. We protect and serve without question. We would also like to highlight Native Americans who enlist in the military at a higher rate per capita than any other group in the United States, and also acknowledge that this month is a month to recognize the Native American code talkers from World War II. Ms. Lottie Shackelford and the Women's Caucus invites all veterans to stand as we applaud you. If everybody else could join our veterans in standing so we can say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You can be seated.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
She is a businesswoman by day. She sings because that's a talent that the good Lord gave her. And when I called and asked if she would come and sing for you all, she gladly accepted. And now to bring a congresswoman here that you will all recognize, Congresswoman Robin Kelly.
Good morning. I obviously didn't get the "you're supposed to wear white" message. It's my fault, not hers. But good morning, everyone. Excuse my voice. Welcome to Chicago. I hope all of you have been having a great time. And we fixed the weather for you, even though some people have told me it's still too cold. But hey, you know where you are. So I just hope you've enjoyed yourself. But also I hope that you feel the power. So I want you to repeat, I got the power. Look at your neighbor and say, you got the power. Now say, we got the power. Now you got to go home to your corner of the United States and use that power. It's great that you had fun here and you listened to the speeches, but we have to get people registered to vote and we have to get informed voters voting, because if you're informed, there's only one way you're gonna vote, and that's for Vice President, our candidate, Kamala Harris. And also for the coach, Tim Walz. But also, voting for them, you're gonna get people to vote up and down the ballot, not just for president, because I'm tired of being in the minority. I've been in Congress 11 and a half years and only 4 years in the majority. So I wanna see my little brother, my classmate, to become the Speaker of the House. And we only can do that if all of you do your work. So we need to stop worrying. We need to work to win. And as our forever First Lady, I represent Illinois, said we gotta do something. So please, ladies, and a few good men in the audience, please do something. Thank you so much, and come back.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Now we will have a land acknowledgement by Selena Vasquez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Buenos dias, Women's Caucus. My name is Selena Vasquez, and what an honor and a privilege it is to be here with y'all this beautiful morning to provide a solemn land acknowledgement as we gather here in Chicago before we go home and get victory. The Democratic National Committee wishes to acknowledge that we gather together to state our values on lands that have been stewarded through many centuries by the ancestors and descendants of tribal nations who have been here since time immemorial. We honor the communities native to this continent and recognize that our country was built on indigenous homelands. We pay our respects to the millions of indigenous people throughout history who have protected our lands, our waters, and our animals. While we meet in Chicago, we also honor and recognize the traditional homelands of Anishinaabe, also known as the Council of the Three Fires, Ojibwe, Audawa, and Potawatomi nations. We acknowledge the many other tribes who consider this area their traditional homeland, including the Meama, the Ho-Manui, Sac and Fox, Peoria, Wea, Kickapoo, and Maskutun. Democrats continue to support tribes as they advocate for the United States to uphold treaty and trust responsibilities. We applaud that in 2024, under the Biden-Harris administration, the Prairie Band of Potawatomi Nation became the first federally recognized tribal nation in Illinois in 175 years. When the U.S. Department of the Interior placed 130 acres of the Chaminade Reservation in nearby DeKalb County into trust.
Thank you, Selena. And now we're going to hear from the 52nd Speaker of the House of Representatives, having made history in 2007 when she was elected the first woman to serve as Speaker of the House. She made history again in January 2019 when she regained her position second in line to the presidency, the first person to do so in 6 decades. Speaker Emeritus Nancy Pelosi.
Isn't it a wonderful morning, everyone? This is a big day for us. I congratulate you for your courage to wear white from morning until night. I'm going to start mine in the morning of the day, so it is still white at night. I'm so honored to be with all of you, but I have to tell you it's a very personal privilege for me to be with Lottie. Lottie and I have been girlfriends for decades, at least 4, maybe more. She has been a relentless, persistent advocate, organizer, shall we say, truth teller, truth teller along the way. And her leadership of the Women's Caucus of the Democratic National Committee is something that has been a blessing for all of us who care about advancing women policy-wise, politically, with that know-how. She and Bill Clinton put Arkansas on the map. I mean, not that they weren't on the map, but further on the political map. And I'm just so honored to be with her. Her daughter was telling me that this is her last meeting, that this is her last term as chair of the Women's Caucus. Let us give her a big salute for all of what she has done. Now I see those in the crowd here this morning. I saw some of you late last night. I see those who can hoot with the owls and soar with the eagles early in the morning. So here we are. Here we are. I'm happy to be here with Virginia McGregor, and aren't we proud of Mignon Moore chairing this beautiful convention. So great. I was on the DNC starting in 1976. My daughter Christine has been on. It's been on for a long time now. And so we have had a dedication to this Women's Caucus for a long time. So that's why I said, isn't this a wonderful morning? Today, we will nominate the next President of the United States. And I thought I was honored to get an invitation to share some thoughts with you about this. When they were inaugurated, after the inauguration, when the President Biden, our great President Biden, came to do the State of the Union address, the first one where he was standing there in front, Kamala Harris was there as Vice President, I was there Speaker of the House. People said, isn't it exciting to have two women in those positions of power? But I said at the time, what was more important is what Joe Biden, for the Biden-Harris administration, was putting forth. Biden child tax credit, affordable child care, home health care, family and medical leave, all the things that enable women to be more fully in the workforce. Men too, but women being the major caregivers. The list went on about early pre-K and the rest. All the things about kitchen table issues, affordable health care, proposing lowering the cost of prescription drugs. The list goes on and on. We accomplished a great deal of that during their administration, a great deal of it. We could not have done it without the courage of our House members, but without the outside mobilization that you all insisted upon on some of those issues. So that was great. Now Kamala Harris is primed to take us to further heights, to get done some of the things that we couldn't because of lack of 60 votes in the Senate that we couldn't get. What I hope to see is that we have a big victory. We will elect Hakeem Jeffries Speaker of the House. That's a special joy to me because the House, I love the House, and I love Hakeem and Catherine Clark and Pete Aguilar and Ted Lieu. We have beautiful diversity in our midst. So in any case, when we go out there to make this a campaign, we have to take it right to the kitchen table of America's working families. Not the boardroom table, the corporate board, not the cabinet table. The kitchen table is the most powerful table in America because that is where families make their decisions. They make their decisions about size and timing of their family, which is an economic issue and a freedom issue and a personal and a respect for women issues, but it's a kitchen table issue. They make decisions about health care. Polls show, Christine was telling me this morning, that polls show that 72% of America's families' decisions on health care are made by women, So the cost of health care, the cost of prescription drugs, the job opportunities, again, all of the things that enable people, women, to be in the workforce. We all love our families. We're always with them. We always have them in our minds. But when we go to work, we want the employer to know that we are present there in that job because our families are safely cared for. But it's not just about going to work. It's about the entrepreneurship of women, starting their own businesses, and what the Biden-Harris agenda has with that. And of course, Kamala Harris will take it forward. So I know that we're all excited about the fact that we will have a woman of color, to be President of the United States. At the same time, we have to remember to elect her, we must hit those spots on that kitchen table. So people, they don't really, I say this all the time in my political role, people don't vote for you for what you have done. That's interesting. It proves that you can get a job done. There's no use bothering to talk about that all day. I want to know what you are going to do for them, for their working families, for their economic security and the rest as we go into the future. And that's what this Elections are about the future. So when Kamala goes out there and we go out there for us, for surrogates and the rest, we have to be talking about the difference she will make at that kitchen table. It's interesting to them that she's a woman. It's interesting to them that she is a woman of color. But what is necessary for them to know is what she is going to do for their own personal success as they go forward, as women as well. I see the beautiful diversity in the room. I'm very proud of the diversity in the House. Democrats, 70% of our caucus is women, people of color, LGBTQ. And I say to them, our diversity is our strength. Our unity is our power. And we have our power. So we are going to have to go out there in a very unified way, committed, determined, putting one good day in front of another that we're going to win this election. We're going to mobilize and own the ground, calls, tweets, texts. We're going to have a message that is unifying, that is bold and progressive and unifying, not dividing, not menacing. And we're going to have the resources, the money, the 3 M's. We're not going to waste any time. My 3 no's: no wasted time, no underutilized resources, and no regrets the day after that election that we could have done just a little bit more. So when they cause their fuss and all the rest, don't pay attention to them. We don't agonize, we organize, we unionize, and we're going. So are we ready to put one good day in front of another? Are we ready to elect Kamala Harris and Tim Walz President and Vice President of the United States? I thought you were. All right, we're ready to elect Kamala Harris, the first woman of color President of the United States. Thank you all so much. Lottie, 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 Lottie. We've been girlfriends for a long time. I've respected and admired her for so long. I feel very reverential when I'm in her presence because she knows. She knows if we're doing our job, if we're fighting the fight, and all the rest. She knows how we're going to win this election. Thank you.
We can't thank Speaker Pelosi enough for all of what she does. And we know history will state, not only was she the first woman speaker, but she was the most effective speaker. She was the speaker that got the most done, and her caucus respected her every moment because as we would see the results, when Nancy said it was going to be a vote, she knew she had the votes. Now we are going to bring on Joanne Sullivan. Oh, I'm sorry. I am sorry. We are bringing on the Honorable Marcia Fudge.
Madam Chair, Madam Secretary, all the things.
Who is now co-chair of the Harris-Walz campaign.
I'm going to be very, very brief this morning. First off, Lottie, thank you. Lottie and I have been friends for more years than I can remember, and I think that she is still the best chair of this caucus ever. The Bible tells us there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. Sisters, it is our time. It is our time. It is our time to not only, they keep talking about shattering ceilings. We have no more ceilings. Because on November 5th, the sky will be open, because it will be all us and no ceilings. It is our time. We have done the work. We have held up everybody else. We have worked in campaigns. We have walked the streets. We have knocked on doors. We've made phone calls. We've folded letters. We have done the work. It is our time. And all I want to say to you now is, on November 5th, if we continue to do the work that we have been doing, we will walk away with a victory that nobody else will ever be able to even understand. There is a time for everything and a season for everything under the heaven. This is our season. Thank you.
And thanks, the Honorable Marcia Fudge. Now I'm going to ask Joanne Sullivan from the great state of Connecticut to come forward.
Good morning, everyone. I have the distinct special honor of introducing someone that you may all know. I'll give you a hint. Orange is the new black. Voice of Lightyear. And the great Shirley Chisholm. Uzo Aduba. Uzo Aduba. Come on down. Yeah. Here she is. Isn't she gorgeous?
Hello, good morning. Sorry? Okay, no problem. Good morning, everyone. Oh, this is amazing. It is so incredible to be here in this room, in this season, witnessing this incredible, incredible moment in our history. Yes, and it just continues to remind me that in the grand tapestry that is American history, that there's a thread that runs through every significant movement for justice and equality. And that thread is woven by the hands of women. Women who refused to sit on the sidelines, who defied the status quo, and who, through sheer determination and vision, transformed this nation. For the next 75 days, we are called to carry forward this legacy, to channel the spirit of those who came before us, and to rise to the occasion as the defenders of the future we want to see. And when Ida B. Wells stood up against the horrors of lynching, she was told there wasn't a place for her voice, but she raised it anyway. When Grace Hopper pioneered the field of computer science, she wasn't waiting for someone to show her the way. She created it herself. When Bessie Coleman, the first African-American woman to earn a pilot's license, didn't wait for an invitation. She soared to new heights on her own. And Shirley Chisholm, the first Black woman elected to the United States Congress, understood from the outset that the fight she was embarking on would be tough, but she taught us it was the good fight. Sonia Sotomayor, the first Latina to serve on the United States Supreme Court. She has always been an ardent supporter of civil rights and liberties, both as an advocate and a jurist. And when Hillary Clinton cracked the glass ceilings, she did so because she understood what was at stake for all of us. These women, like so many others throughout our history, are America. In this country, we've always been those women, the women in pursuit of the American dream, a dream that promises life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness to all who dare to reach it. But let's be clear. This dream doesn't just happen. It takes work. It takes all of us bending that arc of the moral universe towards justice, and that arc, it only bends when we pull it, when we stand up and do the work that must be done. Now, the struggles we face today, they're fierce, and they demand our full attention and action. Right now, we stand at the precipice of an election that will come down to us, the women of this country. We have the power to decide the outcome of this election, and as we look ahead, we must understand our assignment in this moment. To build a more perfect union, to carry Kamala Harris on our shoulders and break barriers just as the women before us have done. We must remember what is at stake in this election: our basic reproductive freedoms, our civil liberties, our democracy. Now, Vice President Harris understands that. She has always been an advocate, always been a fighter for abortion rights, and she has made it clear on this campaign: when Congress passes legislation restoring reproductive freedom, she will sign it into law. Yes. Kamala Harris, she stands with us. Vice President Harris and Governor Walz will work tirelessly to continue advancing pay equality across the country and removing barriers that prevent women from obtaining good-paying jobs. They know, as we do, that our fight is for the soul of this nation. So now let's get ready and get real about our assignment. Yes. The next 3 months, they won't be a walk in the park. They'll be tough, sometimes downright ugly. And the challenges will be enormous, but we cannot afford to get complacent because we love our country and cherish its role as a beacon of hope for the world. We are all too familiar with its darker side. So for the next 75 days, we must be the light that drives that darkness out. The women we honor today, none of them had it easy. They faced adversity, discrimination, and more obstacles than we can count. But they pressed on because they understood the gravity of their mission. They loved this country and believed in its better angels. And you know what? I'm hopeful. No. I am certain that those better angels are right here in this room. So let us not grow weary for the next 75 days, knocking on doors, making phone calls, registering people to vote, getting out the vote, and using our voices. See, I am so hopeful today and believe in the truth of America so deeply because only in America can the daughter of Nigerian immigrants grow up, study opera, and later have the great honor of portraying the trailblazer Shirley Chisholm on the big screen. Shirley Chisholm, a woman who understood her assignment like few others. Shirley Chisholm taught us what it means to be unbought and unbossed. She taught us the power of independence, integrity, and the refusal to be silenced by the systems that sought to hold her back. And her legacy is our legacy, a torch passed down to us to continue her fight for equality, justice, and representation, and that's why we must ensure that every woman, every person in this country knows what's at stake. You see, we are the ones who will carry this election. We are the ones who will continue the work that Shirley Chisholm started. We are the ones who will show up unbought and unbossed to ensure that our rights, our freedoms, and our future are secure. This is our time. This is our moment. This is our moment to not only understand the assignment before us, but to embrace it with the determination to carry it through. Together, we will write the next chapter of this nation's story, one that will be remembered for the power of women who stood united, who recognized the magnitude of their influence, and who moved forward with a clear vision of justice, equality, and opportunity for all. Thank you so much, and God bless you all.
Another round of applause for Uzo. A video is supposed to be playing.
I accept.
She told me at a very young age, like 3.5 or 4, she told me, child, you have a good brain, and you've got to make the most of yourself as you grow up, in spite of the fact that you're black and that you're going to be a woman. So from that standpoint, I say she was an early feminist. She didn't even know it. And she instilled in me, not mediocrity. She said, the world is full of mediocre people. And I think this is why I strive so hard and I work so hard, because I wanted to be the best of whatever I was going to do. My grandmother instilled that in me. Those early years of my life on the island of Barbados gave me the spirit, gave to me the spunk that was necessary to challenge all of these age-old traditions.
Yes.
And the thing, I was never afraid of anything. I was never afraid of anybody. And today's the same way. I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not afraid of anybody. You're going to hear from me.
With a smile on your face.
Yes, I always smile. First of all, gentlemen, you have to really recognize I'm doing something in this country that's never really been done before. It's a question of inculcation, reorientation, and education. Never before in this country, ever since the inception of the Republic, have you had a woman seriously running for the presidency. I'm not talking about someone nominating someone at the convention. It's a mere gist of symbolism and tokenism. I'm talking about someone that has been going out in the highways and byways for the past 7.5 months and saying to the American people that indeed this is a multifaceted society, that Mrs. Chisholm also can be considered a person that can run for the presidency of this country. So I understand that. I've broken the ice.
She came and she spoke, and she said she was running for president. And she talked about immigrant rights. She spoke fluent Spanish. She talked about reproductive health care for women. I have a picture of several of us young women with Shirley, and I'm sort of in the background looking over at her in awe. And I felt like, oh my God, this woman, she's taken on this white male-dominated Congress.
I stand before you today as a candidate for the Democratic nomination for the presidency of the United States of America. I am not the candidate of Black America, although I am Black and proud. I am not the candidate of the women's movement of this country, although I am a woman, and I'm equally proud of that. I am the candidate of the people of America. Join me in an effort to reshape our society and regain control of our destiny as we go down the Chisholm Trail for 1970. I believe that before a woman can become president of this country, a woman has to be a vice president, first of all, so that we will get used to the idea of a woman ascending that high office. That's what I believe.
I see.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Next, we will hear from Representative Barbara Lee from the great state of California. She is known for advocating social justice, peace, and economic equality. As president of Mills College Black Student Union, Congresswoman Lee invited Representative Shirley Chisholm to speak on campus. Please welcome Congresswoman Barbara Lee.
I tell you, well, good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me start out by just saying thank you, Lottie. God, I have known Lottie, and she has been leading this caucus for so many years, and look at how many we are now, how strong we are. As Dr. Maya Angelou said, and still we rise. And Lottie, thank you again. Thank you. So good to see you, my sister, and give Lottie a round of applause. Wow. Okay, let me just start by, well, you know how I got started in politics. It was through the Honorable Congresswoman Shirley Chisholm, who saw me like so many young women and young people in general are today. I was a student at Mills College, president of the Black Student Union, had a class in government. I was going to flunk that class, my only class I've ever taken, because they required us to do field work. Then it was McGovern, Muskie, and Humphrey. I said, hell no. Flunk me, flunk me. But I was a community worker with the Black Panther Party, 10-point program, and a single mother, former survivor of domestic violence, had had an abortion, raising 2 little kids on public assistance. So I was intentional about not getting involved in politics because these guys didn't speak to the issues that I knew so many women had that we had not been seen, and knew that we had not been seen nor heard. So I said later, flunk me. Same time, I invited Congresswoman Shirley Chisholm to Mills as president of the Black Student Union to speak. And she spoke fluent Spanish. This was before Roe. She was for reproductive freedom for women. She was the daughter of immigrants. She talked about education. She was against the Vietnam War. She talked about peace. You name it. And so, I mean, I'm saying, what is this? And she said she was running for president. And so I went up to her and told her my dilemma. Well, no, it really wasn't a dilemma. It was just, I was gonna flunk this class. But, but she took me to task. And she knew, and I told her, I was intentional about not voting. I wasn't apathetic. Young people are not apathetic now. They just don't see their representatives speaking to the issues that they care about, and which are systemic, and these young people want to change the world, right? And that's who I was. So she took me to task, asked me if I were registered to vote. No way. And I told her about my class, and she said, look, and she, to the day she died, called me little girl. She said, little girl. And then she gave me a piece of her mind. Bottom line is, I ended up helping to organize, actually organizing her Northern California campaign from my class at Mills College, a women's college. I got an A in the class. I registered to vote, and I went on as a Shirley Chisholm delegate to Miami, and that was my first convention in 1972. 1972. And I've been a registered Democrat, trying to make, like Shirley did, the Democratic Party more democratic and more inclusive. And I've been to every convention except one since 1972. And I can tell you, this is the one, this is the one that Shirley Chisholm always fought for. And this is the one. This is the one. And so, a couple of things I want to say. Couple of quotes. Let me just start with this. She said, at present, this was in the day, she said, at present, our country needs women's idealism and determination than anywhere else. And so, how in the world can we not have this moment and not recognize what Shirley Chisholm stood for, what she fought for? For me personally, it's that bookend, now it's this bookend. Because Kamala Harris Well, Shirley Chisholm was because Fannie Lou Hamer was, right? That was, we are, all of us are because of Shirley Chisholm, who she was. And Kamala Harris is because of Shirley Chisholm. Because of Shirley Chisholm, and she knows that. I was proud to endorse her in 2019. I was the first member of Congress to endorse Kamala when she ran for president. And I'm so proud of her because she's a daughter of Oakland. I have bragging rights. And I know her 3 decades. She's going to be a phenomenal president. Shirley Chisholm was a catalyst for change, right? For those of you who were around then, she was unbought and she was unbossed. And she said this: next time a woman of whatever color or a dark-skinned person of whatever sex aspires to be president, the way should be a little smoother because I helped pave it. Now, thank you again. Good to see everyone. Let's go win this thing, because Shirley Chisholm worked hard. She was a people-powered campaign that we ran, and this is a people-powered that's going to take Kamala Harris and Tim Walz into the White House. Thank you again.
And I know the late Shirley Chisholm is smiling today. We can't thank her enough. I want to take just a second to thank our caucus chairs, Virgie Rollins from the Black Caucus, Belle Long from the AAPI Caucus, Earl Fawkes from the LGBTQ Caucus, Iris Martinez from the Hispanic Caucus, Carrie Evelyn Harris from the Disability Caucus, Clara Pratt from the Native American Caucus, Johnny Roebuck, Interfaith Co-Chair, and from Arkansas. Now, I know we're sort of, what you say sometimes, hidden and missing, so if we miss someone, it is truly not from our heart. Because each and every one of you, a stalwart hero, shero in this world we live in, okay? Now for our executive committee members, Artie Blanco, Vice Chair, Atima O'Mara, Vice Chair, Joanne Sullivan, Vice Chair, Radhika Nath, Secretary, Becca Doughton, Treasurer, Selena Vasquez, Women's Caucus, Hispanic Representative, Debbie Nez Manuel, Women's Caucus Native Representative, Native American Caucus, and Carrie Evelyn Harris again with the Women's Caucus, and Nadia Ahmad. And I think Nadia is here with her 2 children. Nadia? Well, I've seen her someplace. Vivian Rodriguez with the LGBTQ Caucus. And Vivian is standing over here. We were going to try to have all of them come on stage, but timing is getting away from us. And Valerie McCall, Women's Caucus. I also want to thank Hurley Roseman and Martha Collins and all of the coalition staff and all of the multiple volunteers we have here at this point. You know, in our life, we have many trails going this way, that way. And as women, we try and complete them all. So I have different facets in my life or different segments in my life. And many of those facets and segments have dictated what I do. I am a mother, and I have two wonderful daughters here with me, Karen and Carla. I am also a grandmother, and I have 6 grands, and one of them is here with me, Nundy Porch. I have nieces who are with me who live in Chicago, and a grandniece, Cheryl, Yvette, and Evan. Just a point of personal privilege. I am also a sorority member. I am a Delta Sigma Theta girl, and I have the president of our chapter, chapter, Elsie Holmes North. Oh, I don't mean that. I have just, Madam President, and the name just escaped me. Elsie, oh, I'm sorry. Right. No, I'm going to do this right. I'm sorry. They kept sending me notes and what have you. The president of Delta Sigma Theta, Elsie Cook Holmes. And a past president, Thelma Daley. You know, I'm always saying to young folk, when you get nervous or things go wrong and whatever, just stop and breathe. So that's what I'm doing, stopping to breathe. We also have, and she was here with us on Tuesday, the daughter of Geraldine Ferraro, Donna Saccaro, and her whole family was here on Tuesday. Donna, would you please stand? You all know this year, 60 years ago, as has been mentioned, Fannie Lou Hamer was at that convention in 1964 in Atlantic City, asking for a seat for that delegation. 52 years ago, Shirley Chisholm had the audacity to say, I'm going to run for president of these United States. 40 years ago, Geraldine Ferraro, in 1984 in San Francisco at that convention, was nominated to be the first woman as a vice presidential candidate on any national party ticket. And then fast forward 2016 in Philadelphia, Hillary Rodham Clinton was nominated to become the first presidential nominee of a national party. And here we are in 2024, on the verge of electing the first woman, the first African American, Asian American woman as president of these United States. Women, pat yourselves on the back. And then on the other shoulder, say, okay, shoulders, we have got to get to work. Because when we fight, we win. And a woman who has been on this trail for many, many months is the treasurer of the Democratic National Committee. Anytime somebody says, will you, she says, I will. Virginia McGregor.
Well, thank you, Miss Lottie, for revving the crowd up for me for my financial reports. But, you know, to hear from Speaker Emeritus Nancy Pelosi, and then the video on Shirley Chisholm, I mean, the giants of the Democratic Party. And Democratic women, we should be proud. And someone else that I'm very proud of is Miss Lottie. So we have a lot of memorable moments at this campaign. My favorite was the roll call. And early on, when we got to the great state of Arkansas, who was the one with the microphone but Miss Lottie announcing her state's delegates? Great job, Miss Lottie. You know, Miss Lottie, it is such an honor to work side by side with you as we protect and preserve our democracy. For those of you who don't know, Miss Lottie Shackelford is a legend within the DNC. She is the longest serving vice chair of the DNC, and that's saying something. It was a position she was elected to in 1989 through 2008. Now in her work as DNC Vice Chair Emeritus and Chair of the DNC's Women Caucus, she continues to move our country forward. Miss Lottie and the Women's Caucus are synonymous, but she is much more than the work she does on our behalf. She is a good friend, and she sees things clearly. She never hesitates to share her opinion. She's a mentor and always makes sure that I'm included, and I am so grateful for that. She's someone that I turn to for energy and inspiration. And you know, Martin Luther King reminded us that the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. Miss Lottie is someone who makes sure that that arc is bending in the right direction. In 1993, 6 years after she became the first woman elected mayor of Little Rock, Arkansas, President Bill Clinton appointed her to the board of directors of the Overseas Private Investment Corp, making her the first African-American woman to serve in that capacity. Oh, I know, but I always like talking about you. So Miss Lottie and I are also two people whose lives have been changed for the better by the Clinton family. Hillary Clinton altered the course of my life in 2015 when she led me to today. Her vision for her future was inspirational, and it motivated me to get involved with national politics. Watching Hillary Clinton on stage on Monday was such an emotional moment. Hillary represents the hope we had and have for our future. And when she tells us to keep going, she knows firsthand how tough it can be. But she also knows how important it is because she, as she said on Monday, progress is possible but not guaranteed. And just like Hillary, I want my children and grandchildren to know that I was here in this moment. And on Tuesday night, our incredible former First Lady, Michelle Obama, gave us a call to action. That's right, we have to do something, no excuses. And we had that call in our hearts already. Last night, Speaker Emeritus Nancy Pelosi reminded us that Democrats deliver. And Senator Amy Klobuchar told us that what you do with your life and what you will do with your power matters. It's what you do that matters. I always say you can't wring your hands and roll up your sleeves at the same time. Because the speeches we've heard this week are great, but we're the ones in the room. The people in this room know that we have to do the work because we've been doing the work. When we leave Chicago, we have to organize, we have to fundraise, advocate, and educate in our homes, and our communities, and our workplaces. There's so much at stake in this election, and we cannot stay quiet. As DNC treasurer, I can tell you that the party is strong, And in the last few weeks, we have gotten much stronger. Thanks to Kamala Harris's candidacy, we have raised records amount of money, signed up records amount of volunteers, that's right, and records amount of new donors, most of them under the age of 35. So this campaign is about the future, and I also think about my own 4 daughters, and I'm fighting to protect their rights and freedoms like all of you are for the next generation. So when you look to the left and the right and you see young women, you tell them this election is about them. Thank you very much. Love you, my friend. I have to talk about you.
Good morning, sisters. How are we? Morning. Artie Blanco here representing Nevada, the great state of Nevada. And I'm here to introduce our next speaker. And I'm very happy about this next person. She is a trailblazer, an advocate, and an icon in entertainment. Her illustrious career has not only left an indelible mark on stage and screen, but also elevated her to a revered position as a vocal advocate for social issues such as education, health, and women's rights, using her platform to drive meaningful change. And today, Cheryl Lee Ralph stands not only as an accomplished actress and entertainer, but also as a beacon of inspiration for aspiring artists and activists alike. Her contributions to the arts and her advocacy work have left an indelible legacy that continues to shape the industry and uplift communities. And right now, in one of her greatest shows, I just have to say, not only does she play an educator, but a union member educator. So let's bring up Cheryl Lee Ralph. Woo! Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
We're not going back.
That's right.
We're not going back, just like a tree planted by the waters. We're not going back. We are not going back. We are not going back. We will not be pushed back. We will not be forced back. Because we are not going back. I see you out here. A sea of the feminine power. And you know, like the song, we've got the power. We've got the power. Right now, it is like this within our reach. From Seneca Falls, from the walk of Sojourner, ain't I a woman? To this right here. It is up to us, those of us who know better, to help and encourage other women to understand there is nothing wrong with fighting for, supporting, and voting for women. The path has been set from Harriet Tubman, from Eleanor Roosevelt, from Mary McLeod Bethune, from Shirley Chisholm, making a way for all of us. Believe it when they say that a vote for a woman is a vote for all of us. Not just some of us, all of us. Us, the femme power. We got this. We got this. We will help move the needle of that moral arc. When they talk about joy, when they talk about happiness, when they see how people are being moved through their television screens by what is going on here, that's because it's real. We've been sad. We've been depressed. We have been anxious. We have been wondering how, where, when is it gonna change? And exactly 1 month ago, exactly 1 and a day ago, everything flipped. Everything flipped. Now is the time to feel your power. Now is the time to know your power. I don't need to tell you what to do. You are the choir. You know the notes in every song. Get out there and sing it. Sing it. Get out there and sing it. My name is Cheryl Lee Ralph. I am a woman. I am an artist. And I know where my voice, where my vote belongs. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And she is an activist. And she believes in younger generations knowing the whole truth, the whole story. And I had not announced her yet, but when you all came into this room, we had a wonderful DJ. This DJ is an author. She's a scholar. DJ Lily Jade.
Hi, baby.
She's 10 years old.
How are you? Thank you.
Well,
I knew you would love this.
it's amazing to be out here today. I was here on Tuesday DJing for you guys. Oh, man. You guys really got to me. It's amazing to be out here.
You got this.
It's amazing to be out here right now. I can't believe that I'm on the stage with one of my idols, Miss Cheryl Lee Ralph. I love you in Abbott Elementary. Oh my God.
Aww. Thank you.
So we got to support each other. We're girl bosses. We need to stay with each other. Our pioneers, our leaders right now, and our future leaders, we got to stick up for them. We got to keep our legacy going.
Yes. Let's take a selfie.
Trying to get in a selfie.
There we go. Okay, all of y'all get in the selfie. Okay, it's gonna be a video and we're gonna say Women's Caucus.
All right, Caucus.
You ready?
You ready?
Women's Caucus!
Yes. And you're a big part of it. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Bring on Jasmine Cross. Okay. Good fire.
Okay, ladies, let's get information. Are you all ready? Okay, no. I am about to introduce someone who is magnificent. We need to be ready. Are you ready? When we fight, when we fight, when we fight. Okay, so help me welcome this great fighter. She fights for all of us every single day. As a public defender, civil rights attorney, state representative, United States Congresswoman, the Honorable Representative Jasmine Crockett.
Well, good afternoon or morning, y'all. I'm lost. I don't know what time it is. Have a seat. But real quick, I need to see who's some OGs in this room. Who run the world? Who run the world? Who run the world? Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Listen, I barely have my voice, so thank God for these microphones. But y'all know it was a certain person that wasn't going to let me skip this room. I ain't going to say no names. She just happens to be my sorority sister. Don't let the blue fool you. Wait a minute. Let's see if we got some real OGs in the room. What sorority am I in? Where are my sorors? Oh, no. Oh, yeah. We Deltas over here. Yes, ma'am. We got Arkansas representing. Listen, I just wanted to stop by really quickly to tell y'all that we are going to do this. And when I say we, I mean all of us. But we know who always holds it down. It is always women. We hold it down when it comes to our households. We hold it down when it comes to the job. And we're going to hold it down when it comes to this election. Because if there's anybody that is on the front lines of everything that is going wrong in this country, it is women. They are attacking us day in and day night. Listen, I know some of y'all remember them coming after my eyelashes. They're attacking us in their policies as well as in their pettiness. I am tired, and so I need all of you. Most of y'all believe that you know, the elected officials, we the ones that's got to do the rah-rah and get everybody out. But I'm here to tell you that the power belongs to the people. It has always belonged to the people. And the only thing that I'm begging you to do is flex your power, because your friends, your sisters, your family members, they will listen to you before they listen to me. Raise your hand if you got some friends and family that ain't really talking about the election. Exactly. So who gonna talk to them? Who they gonna listen to? They gotta listen to you. So my one charge for you today, because I'm gonna get out of your way, is I want you at least once a week. How many of you got group chats? It's the only place I can't infiltrate. So I'm gonna ask y'all to infiltrate for me. At least once a week, I want you to put out one fact about anybody that is running, whether it's this presidential, whether it's a congressional candidate, whether it's a Senate candidate, because we can't just go out and get President Harris elected and Vice President Walz elected. They need to be able to govern. Have y'all seen the 118th Congress? It looks like a kangaroo court. I'm telling y'all, we need Hakeem Jeffries to become the Speaker of the House. This isn't just about Hakeem. It's not about me, even though I am going to try to hustle my way into some kind of good position. It is about making sure that Vice President Harris, who will be President Harris, has a governing body. We don't have kings and queens in this country. Instead, we have a democracy, and that means that we need every single branch of government to work for us. We're going to work on that Supreme Court at some point in time. But nevertheless, we need a House and a Senate. And y'all know that we still have the Jim Crow filibuster that is going to cause us some obstacles as it is. But we at least need 50 in the Senate. So I need you to either send out a donation link to your favorite candidate once a week. I need you to talk about somebody that's in a tough race, whether it's a Senate race, a congressional race, and it ain't got to be in your state. We have to pull together. If you're in a blue state or a red state, I don't care. It is going to take all of us, because when their policies come down, they are going to detrimentally affect us. If your friends or family have questions about what it is that they want to do, because they don't like to talk policy, they like to just call people names. If they have questions, you tell them to Google whatever their top issue is, whether it's housing, whether it's jobs, whether it's child care, whether it's the environment. You tell them to Google their #1 issue and then put Project 2025 with it. They will find what their policy is. And if they disagree with that policy, then what they need to do is go out and vote for the blue team. That's all I got for you. Ladies, let's do this. Thank you so much.
I understand that former representative from Florida, Val Demings, is in the room. And our international president and chairman of the board of directors, Elsie Cook Holmes. I had Eleanor Norton on my mind, and it would not come off. Thank you. Valerie.
Okay, ladies, good morning. I have the distinct honor of introducing the Let's Get Information, How to Mobilize and Engage Women panel. Our next speakers, and if our speakers can come up, I will introduce you all. Our next speakers are Ms. Fatima Goss Graves from the National Women's Law Center. Ms. Alexis McGill Johnson from Planned Parenthood. And Ms. Glenda Carr from Higher Heights. Ladies, let's get information.
Good morning, ladies. How are you? I am Glenda Carr, President and CEO of Higher Heights. We're the political home for Black women. We were built for this moment. Black women have been the architects of our democracy. In 2013, when Black women marched at the back of that line, headed by the women of Delta Sigma Theta, they helped to build this moment. when Fannie Lou Hamer addressed the Democratic National Convention so that we could be here, she helped us to build this moment. And then I was so inspired, of course, to hear Barbara Lee, who helped to build this moment in 1972 when Shirley Chisholm boldly came with her unbought and unbossed leadership, helped to build this moment. The work of Higher Heights has helped to mobilize and elect Black women. We help Black women to vote, run, win, and lead. And they've been major gains in the last 10 years since we were founded in a small Brooklyn cafe. Black women have been leading, from Lottie Shackelford, who was the first Black woman to be a mayor of a top 100 city. She helped to build this moment. In 2014, we had just one Black woman as a mayor of a top 100 city. We now have 8. We had just 18 Black women in Congress. We now have 31. There was 241 Black women state legislators across this country. We now have over 343. You then have a Kamala Harris who has run and won and governed on every single level of government. We were built for this moment. There is a new Broadway play out called The Stuffs. Have y'all seen that? And so I want to leave with this. I know that when we fire up a Black woman, she doesn't go to the polls alone. She brings her house, her block, her church, her sorority, and her union. And so to our other sisters, we need you to go gather your girls. At the coffee shop, at the Target, at your living room table. It is about organizing this is too short of a window for us not to pull out our phones. And this morning, I want to leave you with a lyric from The Stuffs, the musical. I woke up this morning remembering the time I went to Ghana with Vice President Kamala Harris last year. And that is when I realized that shooting star couldn't be contained. She believes in the possibilities of now. And so we have to remember, as we begin to create a little bit of history, that I want my mother to know I was here. I want my sisters to know I was here. I want my great-granddaughter to know I was here. I want my mother to know I was here. I want my children to know I was here. I want my goddaughter to know I was here. The women in this room and the women that we organize will be able to build the democracy that we can believe in, and so that we can move this country to higher heights.
That's right.
My name is Fatima Goss-Graves. I'm the president of the National Women's Law Center Action Fund, and I am so happy to be here this morning. I woke up this morning thinking a little bit about what is my task on this historic day. And first, I realized my first task was thinking about all of those who laid the paths. And I have been sitting back there just moved by the way we have brought so many people into this room and named the leadership that got us here. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Shirley. Thank you, Fannie. Thank you to all of the women who got us here and have readied us for this moment. And if everyone could close their eyes for a moment and think of the woman in your life that got you here. For me, that is my grandmother, Blanche Goings. She was born in Alabama and moved with her sisters to Michigan. She was a domestic worker for all of her life. She died early in her age without health care. And when I tell you the fact that we are on the cusp of electing the first Black woman, the first South Asian woman president, who has put care at the center of her agenda, who was the lead sponsor of the Domestic Worker Bill of Rights. She is honoring my grandmother, she is honoring yours. So when I think about the future and our opportunity in front of us, the opportunity that we have is to tell the stories that matter to you. Tell people about your grandmother, your mother, your sisters, your friends whose lives will be changed. Follow the leadership of FLOTUS, Forever FLOTUS, and do something for freedom, for joy, and for our future. And as my sister Glenda said,
take your sisters with you. Thank you.
I'm Alexis McGill Johnson, president of the Planned Parenthood Action Fund. And I woke up this morning thinking about freedom. And the lyric that popped into my head is the only song that I have on repeat. Freedom, freedom, where are you? Because I need freedom too. I break chains all by myself. I'm not going to let our freedom rot in hell. We're going to keep running because winners don't quit on themselves. And I tell you, the path to freedom runs straight through Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. We have an opportunity 2 years after the Dobbs decision. 22 states have banned access to abortion. Almost half of all women are living in states where they cannot get a full range of sexual and reproductive health care. More than half of black women are living in these states. So our bodies are on the ballot right now. Our freedom is on the ballot right now. And we have the incredible opportunity to elect the most pro-reproductive freedom ticket we have ever seen. I am so honored to be able to be here and witness history with you all. And we also know as soon as we leave tomorrow, the work is going to get real. The work is going to get real. The joy that we have in this moment, we are going to have to hold in our hearts because they're going to come after everything. They're going to come with the misinformation. They're going to come with the disinformation. They're going to come with the voter suppression. They're going to come with everything they can think of to stop this powerful movement. But I'm telling you, the only thing that Justice Alito may have gotten right in that opinion is that women are not without our political power. And we are going to show up on November 5th, and we are going to deliver Kamala Harris as president. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Sisters, are y'all in formation? Are y'all ready to go? Don't go yet. I got one last message. I'm going to really try not to get emotional here. In 2016, I was a delegate to that convention. Philadelphia. I was a delegate from Nevada, and my father was a delegate from Texas. And I'm going to read a letter from Hillary Rodham Clinton to the Women's Caucus. Dear Democrats, I am delighted to extend greetings to everyone gathered at today's Women's Caucus meeting, and I am thrilled to join in celebrating the remarkable energy emanating from Chicago. As I said on Monday night, something is happening in America. Something that everyone in this room has worked for and dreamed of for a long time. We are writing a new chapter in America's story, and together we are going to make history in November by electing Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. As we face the challenging work ahead, I want to thank each of you for your decades of dedication to our party and to our country, and in particular, for everything you do to advance rights and opportunities for women and girls. In 2016, it was the honor of my lifetime to be our party's nominee for president. And I am grateful to you for honoring me once again at this meeting. So many of you have stood by my side over the years as we fought to advance our shared values. And I want you to know that it has meant the world to me. I also want to thank you, your chair, and my friend Lottie Shackelford, and acknowledge her trailblazing service in local, state, and national politics over the past 4 decades. Lottie, Bill and I are so proud of you and thankful for your friendship and contributions. 104 years ago this week, the 19th Amendment to the Constitution granted women the right to vote. Think of the progress we've made since then, and then think of the unfinished business that remains. We've put a lot of cracks in the highest, hardest glass ceiling, and now we have a chance to shatter it once and for all. So, over the next 74 days, let's commit to working harder than we ever have before. The future is here. It's in our grasp. Let's go win it. With warm regards, I am Hillary. Roll tape.
I accept your nomination for President of the United States.
Hillary Clinton became the first American woman to head up a major party's presidential ticket.
Hillary Clinton is the first woman in American politics to emerge at a national level in her own right with more power than any woman has had before.
Extraordinarily competent woman. She's very much on. She knows the issues better than anybody I know, including her husband.
No other person, in my view, has shown more courage during more adversity than the First Lady of this nation, and the greatest champion of health care in this country, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
We owe it to ourselves, as well as every parent, to make sure that every child has the kind of health care they need. So please help us achieve that this year.
Over time, she won significant respect from the country because people saw someone who really cared about children, who cared about families, who was focused on policies that made people's lives better.
Human rights are women's rights, and women's rights are human rights once and for all.
There were hints Hillary Clinton would be a different kind of first lady.
I suppose I could have stayed home and baked cookies and had teas, but what I decided to do was to fulfill my profession.
She was a serious person that had a future in politics.
I have known Hillary Clinton as a friend, a colleague, a source of counsel, and a tough campaign opponent. I am proud that she will be our next Secretary of State.
Tonight, we've reached a milestone in our nation's march toward a more perfect union. The first time that a major party has nominated a woman for president.
I know we have still not shattered that highest and hardest glass ceiling, but someday someone will, and hopefully sooner than we might think right now.
Clinton is a role model for women and moms across the globe. She has had the kind of life that so many women admire, and what she's done with power when she's had it has really been to lift up all women.
You represent the best of America, and being your candidate has been one of the greatest honors of my life.
I understand that Virgie Rollins has entered the room, chair of the DNC Women's Black Caucus. Black Caucus. Oh, did I said Black Caucus, DNC Black Caucus. When women win, we win. When women fight, we win. Freedom, freedom, where are you? Freedom to not just get by, but get ahead. Freedom to be safe from gun violence. Freedom to make decisions about our own bodies. Freedom to read the books we want to read. Freedom to have our children educated in a system that honors them and honors their culture and honors their parents and inspires them to be the best me's they can be, the best thems they can be, the best yous you can be. And then, as Cheryl Rafley said to us, you all know the song. You know the words. Sing it. Sing it each and every day. And as Michelle Obama reminded us, what did she remind us?
Do something.
What did she say?
Do something.
When something isn't right,
Do something.
when your neighbor is not voting,
Do something.
when you see your streets not like you want them to be,
Do something.
somebody is elected to say, telling you what you don't want to hear.
Do something.
When you go to bed at night, each and every night, my challenge to you is ask yourself, did I do something today to make this world a better place? And did I do something today to make certain November 5th we will have victory? Because we will have a president, Kamala Harris, and a vice president, Tim Walz. We were supposed to have had an announcement to say at 12:30, you have the words? Okay, great. Because I was going to make them up but tell you where the real place was.
All right, hey y'all. So the Victory Fund is going to sponsor the We Choose Freedom Brunch, which is starting now at 12 noon, running until 3 p.m. At Carnival, which has up to 1,500 capacity. It's at level K, right behind McCormick Place. And there'll be some special guests there, including First Lady of Minnesota, Gwen Waltz. I think Glennon Doyle and Abby Wambach will also be there. So it's like supposed to be a time. So if y'all want some food, especially because y'all know it's going to be a late night tonight, this is a great place to go before we have to get on our buses and go to the convention center. So,
thank you.
Yeah.
But all invited. This is Women for Harris event luncheon today. Women, go forth. Your work is with you, and your work is ahead. Yes. When women fight,
we win.
When women fight,
we win.
Let's go fight.